Hello and welcome back to Dealing with Dallas. That's right, that's me, and for a change I've got my hats on. You don't see that very often, but we got some major problems yesterday with the pond. We dropped down to about -5, -6 yesterday, and catastrophe. I'll show you exactly what's happened. Look at this. This is what happened yesterday. As you can see, this here now, that's solid ice. I've got all my ice on here, ice on here. So what happened yesterday was, you can see all my ice on here, it's crunchy all underfoot. It dropped down to about -5, -6 yesterday. And what happened is, where my water comes out my pipe down here, right? Yeah, that pipe there froze solid of water. So all the water that was then getting pumped into the filter system, it all backed up across the 3 chambers, and it all came out over the top here. So hence the reason it is everywhere. As you can see, it's all down the side, all down here. It is like an ice rink down there. I've just skidded on that, and I lost a good 80% of my water, which is quite a scary thought, especially this time of year, because you don't really want to be doing a big water change like that. Well, you never really want to be doing a 80% water change. So what I've actually done now is I've topped my pond back up. I had to use hosepipe water. I've had to dechlorinate it into the water. The fish, they seem all okay today. If anything, it's woke them up a bit, and that's why I'm a little bit concerned. They're cruising around, they're looking for food, and I don't want them to do that, so they're not getting fed under no circumstances. I came out here this morning with my brew, and I thought, right, need to have a look at what I'm doing here, and they're all up at the top, bobbing, looking for food. They're not having it. So my little task I've got to do, I've now disconnected my pump that's going into here. So at the moment it is literally just running from the pump in the bottom. It's going up through my UV filter, which is turned off, and then it's going straight back into the pond. It is literally just doing a loop round. I've got 2 or 3 air stones working. You've got 1, 2, and a further one up there. I'm going to add a 4th one onto that line, and this bar that I've got going across here, I'm actually going to tie my air lines onto that. I'm going to hook them over, and then they're going to drop down into the pond. They're going to sit just beneath the very bottom of the pond, not quite, and then the fish can come up this end, being the deeper end. If this end freezes over, it's not the end of the world, because I'll have a vent up this end for the fish to still be able to come up to release the gases from the water. And I'm going to turn the actual pump here off totally during the night. And I know that sounds, why during the night? It's so I can keep an eye on what's happening. But what I'm going to do is, the water is going to come back in the pond in that top corner. So at the shallow end is where I'm going to have most of my moving water. I'm going to stick the pump on a timer, so it's only going to come on for maybe 2 hours, 3 tops a day. So it's not going to actually kick all the water through, because what I've got at the bottom is, that's where you're going to have most of the heat from the water. It's going to retain it at the bottom. So just having that pump coming on that little bit, it's just going to stop it from freezing. I mean, when I say 2-3 hours, I might even only put it on for 10, maybe 15 minutes. I think it's 15 minutes intervals on the timer I can do. I'll have to look into that. But the air stones will remain on all the time. So what I'm actually going to do now is, it's time to get stripping and get dipping. I think I'm going to have to go in to sort this lot out. The water is about 6 degrees. Fresh. Some would call that mildly tepid, 6 degrees. I do cold water therapy, so I'm used to going into this. So I am going to say right now, if you're not used to going in cold water at 6 degrees, don't do it. Please listen, don't do it. Your body will go into shock. You could end up with cardiac arrest, and it's not going to be pretty. Like I say, I do this weekend out, right through the summer, through the winter. I'll be going, it's Friday today, so it's Saturday, I'll be there. It's Sunday, which will be today, because I'm going to put this video out for you lovely folks today. So I'd have gone this morning, and the lake at the moment, it's about 4.5, 5 degrees. So we'll only be in there a quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, but I do it every weekend, so I can take that. but I wouldn't recommend it. So that's enough about my personal life. So let's get in here and get this sorted out. I want them air stones just off the bed of my pond, and we'll see exactly what's happening. But the fish, they're definitely active. So without further ado, I'm going to go and strip off a little bit. I've already got my hat ready, so I'm going to keep my hat on to maintain that body regulation within me. When I get out, it will be a warm cup of tea, warm myself back up and put this video together. So without further ado, let's embrace this cold. Beautiful. So I've been in the pond now. I've done what I needed to do. I've topped it back up. I've put my dechlorinator back in, so I'll show you exactly what I've got set up to prevent that accident from happening again, because my garden is still like an ice rink and we're like 3 days later now. So I'll spin the camera around and I'll show you exactly what we've got going on. So here we go. So I have now connected, the pump is just running straight through, and I'm actually still going to have it dropping in this end. So the water's being dragged from over here back all through this UV filter, which is turned off now, and straight back into the pond. So that's just going to prevent that from freezing. This itself is still, well, you can see, I mean, go out for an icicle, beautiful. So yeah, we're still like an ice rink down here. With the incinerating bin, still got a bit of burning to do. So back to the pond, which is what we're actually doing here. So I've set a pole that's going straight across here. So that is just a bamboo cane that's running across. So I've got my pipes, air lines wrapped around that. So therefore they're just going to sit there now. So this end up here will not freeze because that's got the movement on. They are on all the time. The pump, I've got that on a timer. So I've actually got it running at the moment, so that will go off, or it may even go off while we're watching this, to be fair. The fish themselves are now all hunkered down there at the bottom, so the pond is looking pretty clear, which I'd expect it to do because I've added it all in. My air box itself, which is sitting down here, what I now need to do is I've got a second black box, which is that one there. So I'm going to add that into there just to protect that, so if we do get any snow or anything, that it is all going to be protected. So that there is now going to stop everything from freezing over. So until next time, which I think is actually going to be next year, 2023. How's that happening? Typical British. Year's gone so quick. How's it Christmas already? Weather, let's complain about that weather out here. So without further ado, I shall leave you all to it. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas and a fantastic New Year, and we will see you in 2023. So ho 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 until next year. Let's have it, let's make it happen. Bye bye for now, folks.